If he is elected, he will fight for the dollars for this project, which he says are critically needed. Back inside to you.
All right, Linda, thank you so much. Meanwhile, Mayor Adams and Police Commissioner Tisch announcing the formation of the NYPD's Domestic Violence Unit. They say it's the largest unit of its kind in the country. It will allow the NYPD to enhance how it investigates domestic violence incidents and how it will also provide training for officers. The leaders say this new unit will have approximately 450 domestic violence investigators. They're going to be tasked with preventing and investigating domestic violence cases. The Domestic Violence Unit is set to begin next week. All right, let's turn on to weather, and shall we say it was a cold start to the day. Liv Johnson is at the Weather Center tracking the temperatures at this hour. Liv, yes, certainly chilly start.
I know, I was layering up this morning. Feels like the first time so far since we've crossed into the fall season. But yeah, look at these temperature differences from 24 hours ago. 10 degrees in New York City, same thing out on Long Island. Most of us at least 5 to 15 degrees different from yesterday. So that puts us in the low to mid 50s. We're 54 right now in New York City, 56 down the shore. Still in the really low 50s for places like Poughkeepsie's 53, Monticello just at 50 degrees right now, and 56 out on Long Island. We won't get too much warmer, just 59 for the city today. 58 is your expected high if you're out east, but 56 if you're for East Hampton. Same thing for Hartford. We have 58 for Poughkeepsie. Monticello just going to climb a few degrees up to 53 for their afternoon high. Now, we do get a little bit warmer going into the weekend, so we could hit 70 on Sunday, but that might also come with some rain that takes us into Monday. I'll have more on that later. Bianca.
Sounds good, Liv. Thanks so much. All right, to this now, officials in Queens trying to determine if an apartment fire was caused by a lithium-ion battery. The blaze took place around 2 this morning in Flushing. This is Citizen App video of that scene, and officials say 4 people suffered minor injuries. That fire now under control, but the cause has not been determined. Hazmat, though, was brought to the scene because of the presence of lithium-ion batteries. And more tension in the Middle East. Next at noon, the latest developments in the Israel-Hamas ceasefire agreement as Israel identifies the remains of 2 more hostages returned from Gaza. Plus, a White Plains parking garage remains shut down after yesterday's partial collapse. We're following the very latest on the repairs. All right, some developing news in the Middle East. Officials in Israel have identified the remains of 2 more hostages returned from Gaza. However, Hamas is being warned to hand over the bodies of those still being held. Since Monday's exchange, Hamas has returned 10 bodies, and Israel has identified 9 of them as hostages. Israeli officials say there were the remains of 28 total hostages in Gaza before this exchange. Israel has released 2,000 Palestinian prisoners in exchange for the hostages. Meanwhile, the government shutdown has little change of ending today. For the 10th time, Senate Democrats are expected to reject a spending bill today that would reopen the federal government. Now, the shutdown is now in its 16th day. Democrats are insisting on an extension of subsidies for Affordable Care Act health plans. Senate Republicans aiming to hold votes on bills that would fund the Defense Department and some other government agencies. And President Trump confirming that he authorized the CIA to conduct covert operations inside of Venezuela. He is also saying that he's considering carrying out land operations there as well. This comes after the U.S. military in recent weeks carried out deadly strikes against alleged drug smuggling boats in the Caribbean. Venezuela's foreign ministry says Trump's statements are acting against the peace and stability of Venezuela. And if you have an easy pass New York commuter plan, listen up. Next at noon, why you might want to check your receipts, as some drivers are seeing accidental extra charges on their accounts. Well, developing right now, New York City's Open Streets program is coming under fire. Local disability advocates are suing the city, claiming the program that shuts down streets across the 5 boroughs for pedestrian access violates the Americans with Disabilities Act. A federal judge is hearing arguments from both sides today. The plaintiffs claim Open Streets does not provide equal access to public streets because many disabled people cannot lift or operate barriers to enter those areas. The DOT has not commented due to the pending litigation. And the process of showering up and shoring up the parking garage that partially collapsed in White Plains, that is complete. The police chief says crews were working overnight, adding extra support to that structure. He says that they expect to begin notifying car owners this afternoon about retrieving their cars. And he also says removing the crushed cars from the collapsed area of the garage, well, that is going to be a slow process. That collapse happened yesterday morning. No one was hurt, but an investigation into the cause is now underway. Speaking about cars, if you do have an Easy Pass New York commuter plan, be sure to check your receipts because some drivers are seeing accidental extra charges on their accounts. Fox 5's Richard Giacobas takes a closer look at this glitch.
Today's hit music, K104, it is Scott Walker.
Every weekday afternoon, Jared Galino lends his voice to a local radio station about 60 miles north of New York City in the much smaller city of Beacon.
Today's hit music, K104, it is Scott Walker.
A sort of second act for Jared, who spent years as an on-air personality for WPLJ. This gig is much more convenient for Jared, who lives right across the Newburgh-Beacon Bridge in neighboring Newburgh.
If you go over the bridge 17 times a month, you get a discounted rate, and I easily go over at least 17 times a month.
But this past weekend, Jared, who normally pays $1.40 to cross the bridge with his Easy Pass New York commuter plan, was hit with multiple charges of a jarring $55 per trip 3 days in a row.
Friday, I got a text alert saying I got a charge for $55 from Easy Pass. Didn't think much of it because it could have been a replenishment fee. Then on Saturday, I got an alert that I got a $55 charge. And then on Sunday, I got an alert that I got a $55 charge.
It turns out Jarrett isn't the only victim who is getting overcharged on their Easy Pass statement. The New York State Bridge Authority posting this apology this week, thanking those who pointed out the errors on their toll statements. It admits there was an issue with the commuter plan program and that people are working to get this resolved. The post was met with a flood of comments from users who had similar issues to Jarrett. One person claimed she didn't notice the error until she was out more than $300.
It's a paycheck-to-paycheck world, so to be out $150, $160 kind of hurts.
In a statement to Fox 5, the New York State Bridge Authority blames an outside vendor, saying in part, quote, the New York State Bridge Authority was recently made aware of erroneous billings related to the NYSBA commuter plan made by our outside vendor. We are working closely with our service provider, the Easy Pass New York Customer Service Center, to correct the issue.
The moral of the story is check your charges. I mean, an automated world is great with all this auto deduction, but sometimes things slip through.
The New York State Bridge Authority also tells us that its commuter plan program is available on its 5 authority bridges in the Mid-Hudson region for New York and New Jersey Easy Pass customers, offering them that reduced toll of $1.40. They just have to make those 17 trips within that 1 month. Jared says he makes at least 25 trips a month and that he's still waiting on that $165 refund. We're in Beacon, New York. Richard Giacobas, Fox 5 News.
Whatever you can do to get that money back. All right. New York State's Office of Cannabis Management is celebrating the first organization taking part in its community grant reinvestment fund. The grant's being awarded to nonprofits that offer mental health, job training, and housing services. Each organization will receive $100,000, and 15 of the organizations are based right here in the city. All right, let's turn now to weather to see what's in store for us this afternoon. Some clear, beautiful blue skies out there. However, the catch is that it's pretty chilly. We're not used to it. However, it's fall, so we're going to have to get used to it, Liv.
Yes, but it gets a little bit warmer the next couple of days. But yeah, as Bianca said, it is at least clear skies out there. Our satellite radar is completely in the clear. We don't have to worry about anything really until Sunday. We're in a bit of a dry stretch for the second half of our week. So we just got up to 59 degrees today. That's below average. Usually we're in the mid-60s this time of year, but plenty of sunshine. It was a really chilly start with cool highs. It's also breezy out there, so that makes it feel a bit cooler. Right now, winds are coming from the north, also helping us feel cooler at 15 miles per hour, but even breezier for our coastal areas like Long Island and down the shore in New Jersey, 21 mile per hour wind speeds, gusting to about 30 to 35. Long Island right now has a pretty consistent wind gusts at 34 miles per hour. It's going to remain breezy throughout the day. Tomorrow, still a little bit windy, but we do see those wind gust speeds go down about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So again, still breezy, but not as bad as we have right now. Those feel like temperatures are just a couple degrees cooler from where we actually are, but it does feel like the 40s for places like Poughkeepsie. Feels like 49. Monticello feels like 44. Feels like 48 for Bridgeport. Most of us feel like low 50s, and again, that is below average for this time of year. Compared to our real temperature, it's 54 degrees. In New York, you can see that New England and the Northeast have these cooler temperatures, but a little bit warmer air to the west of us. So that's going to make its way towards us and will warm up a little bit for your weekend. Lows tonight, though, another chilly night in the 40s. Some of us in the 30s, like at Monticello, just hitting about freezing at 31 degrees for that overnight low. Tomorrow, though, we will get back into the 60s, but just barely in the low 60s. Then Saturday, a little bit better, 65 and sunny, not too much to complain about. Sunday also looks really nice, 70 degrees. There's a chance really late at night we could get some showers that take us into Monday, but definitely count on some rain for the start of your week, which is a high of 64, but not too bad. Temperatures in the mid-60s really from here on out. Bianca?
All right, sounds good, Liv. Looking forward to some of that warmer weather. Well, next at noon, you've probably heard the saying, laughter is the best medicine, and there's actually some science to back this up. We are breaking down the research on the effect comedy can have on your well-being. Well, the Food and Drug Administration expanded an ongoing cinnamon recall over fears of lead contamination. A total of 16 brands are now involved. The affected items were sold across the country, including at stores such as Dollar Tree and Save Lot. The recall was prompted by tests that showed elevated lead levels in their products. The recall notice was first posted in July of last year, but was also updated to include 4 new ground cinnamon products from the Hayti, Roshni, Dura, and Wise Wife companies. All right, the medicine open enrollment period is now underway, and some people may be seeing some very big changes to their plans. That is because many insurance companies are dropping some of their plans for next year. Others are removing benefits and increasing out-of-pocket costs. The Wall Street Journal says Medicare plans will cover 360 medications in 2026. 2 years ago, more than 700 were covered. Meanwhile, CVS announcing that it has purchased the assets of a former competitor. The purchase covers 63 former Rite Aid and Bartell drugstores in Idaho, Oregon, and Washington, as well as customer prescription files in 15 states. CVS first approved this acquisition in May after Rite Aid filed for bankruptcy. That sale was finalized about 2 weeks after all Rite Aid stores closed earlier in October. CVS says it has also hired more than 3,500 Rite Aid and Bartell drug employees at its locations. And global life expectancy is now back to pre-pandemic levels. Despite an increase in teen and young adult deaths, the University of Washington study also found that among teenagers and young adults, the largest increase in deaths was ages 20 to 39 in high-income North America. The leading causes were suicide, drug overdose, and alcohol intoxication. That study also found that iron deficiency was a leading risk of death for children ages 5 to 14 around the world. And for ages 15 to 49, the top causes were unsafe sex and occupational injuries. All right, well, they say laughter is the best medicine, but is that really true? Well, according to the CDC, taking breaks throughout the day to engage with content that makes you laugh can help improve your emotional well-being. Researchers at the Cleveland Clinic say laughing helps your body take in more oxygen, which can help regulate your heart rate and stress responses. One expert discussed how comedy can also help people connect with others.
When you're laughing at a joke or a comedian, you're usually laughing with someone else. And so it allows you to sort of build solidarity and companionship.
While health experts advise not spending too much time online, they also suggest finding ways to train social media algorithms to provide you with content that does make you laugh. All right, well, the cities where Americans spend the most on groceries might surprise you. Next at noon, we are breaking down this new study showing New York City not even landing in the top 10.
The work of New York City's agencies, your city would look like this. But because your agencies deliver for you, a record number of new homes have been created. Streets are safer with crime down citywide. And there's a brand new universal after-school program for our kids. That's how city agencies are delivering for families, making this the very best place for yours. New York City, delivering for you, every day, everywhere.
Fox.
All right, it's 12:30 right now. Welcome back to the news. We got a whole lot more coming up here, starting with this. Athletes turned angels. I think you've probably seen this all over social media. And this week's Kicking and Screaming, Fox 5 Sports producer Lou Albanese and I chatting about the female athletes walking the Victoria's Secret fashion show just last night. These women are basically taking over everything pop culture. Plus, we got to look at the Coom Festival, uniting K-culture, K-tech, K-food, K-beauty, K-fashion. This is a multi-day event here in the city. And by K-fashion and whatnot, I'm talking about Korean fashion and Korean culture. So it's pretty cool. Stay tuned for that. But first, this is very cool in terms of the temperature. It's beautiful outside, though. Look at this video, this live picture right now. Stunning out there. Those blue skies, amazing. Just bring a sweater and jacket. I don't know if you want to get the beanie out, but you know.
I was thinking about, I could have used some earmuffs.
I could use some gloves
this morning. Yeah. Yeah, but it's better than nor'easter, okay? It's a little chilly, but at least it's not misting and raining and all that gross stuff we had at the start of the week. So it was a really chilly start. Some of us started in the 30s up in the Hudson Valley. Sunny, like we were just talking about, but windy and cool. We do have a dry stretch ahead of us. Ever since that nor'easter's moved through, it's going to be mainly dry until the weekend, but it is more mild for the weekend as well. 54 degrees is your current temperature in New York City. Same thing for LaGuardia with plenty of sunshine. Atlantic City is also sunny. I don't know why it's not showing, but I promise you it is. It feels like 52, so it's just making a little bit of a difference with those wind gusts that we're getting to be just a couple degrees cooler than what it actually is. Feels like 51 out on Long Island. Still feels like the 40s for Monticello. Feels like 44. 52 is what we're feeling down the shore, and 51 for Hartford. Now, around the rest of the country, we're matched with the northwest section of the country. It's a little bit cooler, but they're a few hours behind. I mean, look at some of the temperatures in the southeast, so that would be nice. 76 for Atlanta and Memphis. We have 76 for Dallas as well. And, of course, Miami, 82. So they're not feeling like fall, but we sure are this afternoon. We'll get up to 59 degrees in New York City, 58 out on Long Island, upper 50s for New Jersey as well. But inland parts of New Jersey will just hit about 60 for Newark, 61 for Trenton. We have a high of 56 for Hartford, 58 for Poughkeepsie, and Monticello just 53. Satellite radar is looking just fine. We have high pressure that is going to keep us company for the next few days, so our skies will be mainly clear. We'll really just have wind today and tomorrow, but then late Sunday night, we see this area of low pressure and a cold front bringing some rain ahead of it. So the forecasts are still kind of deciding, are we going to get that rain Sunday night, or is it really going to be mainly Monday morning? Right now, we just have to kind of count on the possibility of both. Definitely Monday, but it could start Sunday night as well. So for the rest of your day, like we saw, temperatures are just in the mid to upper 50s with clear skies. By 9 p.m., if you have any evening plans, most of us will already be in the 40s, and even Monticello by 9 o'clock will be in the upper 30s. Factor in that wind chill, and it'll feel like the mid 30s. Tomorrow morning when you head out the door for work, it's a bit of an improvement from this morning, but still going to be chilly with temperatures in the 40s by 7 a.m. And we're still stuck in the 30s for Poughkeepsie and Monticello, but then we do get just a little bit warmer crossing into the 60s. That rain chance Sunday night into Monday is your only rain chance for the next 5 days, really. Tonight, 45 degrees. It's clear and cool, but remaining breezy. We see those temperatures 30 to 40 degrees for those overnight lows. And then tomorrow, 63. So as I said, a little bit better, but still pretty cool. 62 will be your high out on Long Island. Mainly low 60s throughout the whole tri-state area, but we're looking at upper 50s for the Jersey Shore, and also Monticello just has a high of 57 tomorrow. Then we get even warmer for Saturday, 65 degrees and sunny. Sunday, really gorgeous, 70 degrees. We just have that shower chance at night into Monday, and that clears up by Tuesday with a high of 64. Bianca?
All right, not looking too bad, Liv. Thanks so much. Meanwhile, this now, New York, often described as one of the most expensive cities in the country. Many of us feel like a trip to the grocery store takes a bit out of the bank. But now, a new study reveals food prices here aren't actually that bad. Fox 5's Jennifer Williams has the receipts.
The cities where Americans spend the most will surprise you, as NYC isn't even in the top 10.
Well, what we found in this study is that grocery prices are still high. It's a 25% increase since 2019. And while earnings haven't risen at the same rate, what we're finding is that some cities groceries are less affordable because it's taking up a larger percentage of people's incomes.
A new Wallet Hub analysis of 26 common grocery items across 100 major cities reveals an interesting finding. It's not high-cost cities like New York, where residents spend the highest percentage of their income on groceries.
We found that a number of Rust Belt cities where the economies are poor, poverty rates are high, median annual incomes are low, those tended to be in the top 10 as far as high percentage, as high as 3.78% for Detroit.
Newark, New Jersey was 4th on the list, Jersey City, New Jersey 82nd on the list, and New York City was in the middle of the pack.
New York City, the median household income is just a tad under $79,800. Now, even that doesn't get you very far in New York City, but in terms of grocery prices, that's a lot better than some of these areas at the top of the list.
Depends on the supermarket. Like the supermarket makes a huge difference. Like this is an expensive one.
There's a lot of options too. I think if you put the effort in, you can really compare prices here probably. People know their secret place to get cheap food. That's my guess.
We asked New Yorkers why they don't spend a lot on groceries, and this answer won't surprise you.
A lot of people like to go out to eat, I have to say. Here, there's so many options.
No, we got the best restaurants in the world. People just eat out.
Now, for those looking to stretch their grocery budget further, financial experts recommend coupons, buying in bulk and the store brands, and utilizing cashback credit cards. On the Upper East Side, Jennifer Williams, Fox 5 News.
Regardless of that study, it is still very expensive here, so I don't know if that changes much. Meanwhile, fans of K-pop Demon Hunters, listen up. The animated fantasy adventure headed back to the big screen for more special screenings. What you need to know about its return to the box office.
Us.
Well, Spotify updating its features to make parental controls easier to navigate for shared family accounts. Premium family plan account holders with children under the age of 13 to manage their kids' music experience. Now, parents will also be able to filter out explicit content, block certain songs and artists, as well as hide the videos that sometimes play while listeners listen to tracks. Children will also be able to add songs to favorites, create playlists, and get personalized recommendations without influencing the parents' main account. That must be very, very interesting, especially when parents and kids' music tastes differ so much. All right, Christina Aguilera taking a page out of the book of Taylor Swift by releasing her own concert film. Take a look.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping
Okay, I might be hated for saying this, but one of the best singers of our lifetime. The working title is Christina Aguilera, Christmas in Paris, and it's set to hit theaters on December 14th. That movie will mark the 25th anniversary of her album, her holiday album, My Kind of Christmas. This was shot in Paris in front of a small audience of about 250 people. The director is Sam Wrench, who also directed Taylor Swift's Eras Tour concert movie. Very interesting. All right, well, Huntrix is returning to a movie theater near you. Netflix is bringing K-pop Demon Hunters to the big screen for Halloween-themed sing-along screenings. The franchise is an animated fantasy adventure about a fictional K-pop girl group who protect the world from demons with their music. Costumes are encouraged at the screenings. The movie will run from October 31st to November 2nd. And if you think that is just a kid's movie, think again. I watched it as an adult. It was pretty good. All right, Angel Reese and Suni Lee saying hello to the spotlight in the world of fashion. Next at noon, Fox 5 sports producer Lou Albanese, who's so highly qualified to talk about Victoria's Secret models, is going to be talking all things Victoria's Secret fashion show in this week's Kicking and Screaming. You're not going to want to miss his commentary. And Chicago's famous rat hole sidewalk landmark. You might have remembered this from a year ago. It may not have been made from a rat after all. What researchers, and I'm talking about 3 different colleges, came together to do a study to tell us what actually made this hole. We'll talk about it coming up.
Nice.
Kicking and Screaming. And today, Fox 5 sports producer Lou Albanese and I are talking about...
real sports. Real sports we're talking today. Real sports.
Excuse you. Female athletes basically taking over the world. We already knew this. Lou's just finding it out. But Lou, did you see the stars of the Victoria's Secret fashion show last night?
I couldn't. Well, you know what? I'm not going to say I can't believe it. Angel Reese has been popular when it comes to fashion and the look. It was her dream, and then she got to live her dream. She walked down the runway. She looks great.
She does look absolutely stunning, but she made history. She was the first pro athlete to walk the VS runway, and she obviously had her wings with her. We got to shout it out to her.
Which makes total sense, Angel.
And not to be left alone, this was a show where it really kind of highlighted female athletes, female performers, because Suni Lee also walked in the show as well.
Gymnast.
Look at her go.
And
okay.
look at that. See,
and
now,
you know
that's
what?
smart
She's
too, because
representing us shorter
her
women.
and representing the athletic look. You see that? That's more of an athletic look. That's not the usual. There's no wings. She's an athlete.
No, she doesn't. She didn't actually wear wings because sometimes she's modeling the pink version of Victoria's
but
Secret.
The point is, she has the athletic look. That's something you would wear in the gym.
I like it. I think it's pretty.
Wrong with
so
it.
if you open up Instagram today, you're going to see this all over your feed about these two incredible athletes walking this show.
Yes.
I feel like the VS Runway show fell off the map for quite a bit.
Well, it was off the air for quite a bit because it got canceled.
And not just
by
that.
cancel culture.
Exactly. But now they're bringing it back. And do you think that these two female athletes have kind of lit the fire under it?
I think they're smart to go in different directions, not just the usual models, which were there, the usual group, by going into sports, going into other areas like music. They really need to do their brand. And I'm not trying to sell their underwear. I don't care about their underwear. But the point of the matter is...
You're not their target audience?
I'm not walking in tomorrow saying, can I get a pair of those the pink lace? No, that's not happening. No, but I'm saying to you, for her, she's a really good basketball player.
Yeah.
Really is. She's like, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 10 blocks, whatever it might be. But she's not any better than a lot of other women in the game. There's a lot of really talented women there.
Yeah.
But she stands out.
Why does she stand out?
Because she understands what makes them all understand. Social media. That's it.
I know.
She knows how to sell her brand. And that's what it's all about. There's more. We talked about the other thing. Now, another person was there that had a sports connection.
Hold on. Would you like to say her name correctly, just for the record?
Let's see if I can do it. There's no S, right? Madison Beer. No S.
He loves to say Madison Beers. I think it sounds just a little bit more approachable for him.
Yeah, Beers makes more sense to me.
Okay,
I want more than one beer.
So here she is on the pink carpet. This is right before the runway, looking very sultry with very little on.
And what's her sports
She is now officially a WAG, and that's why it relates to sports. And these WAGs, and we're talking about NFL, NHL, MLB, that still has some room to grow. But
Listen, WAGs have become more people, I think now, more and more people are more interested in who a guy is dating. I mean, look, Page 6 was always there. You always had the rumors about Jeter. You had the rumors about Joe Namath.
Sure.
But it's different now. You have Josh Allen. Josh Allen's doing an interview.
No, hold on. I just want to make sure that you give credit where credit is due, because the woman that kind of led to the WAG culture really being presented on the biggest stage ever
was Liv.
was Liv Johnson. Okay, yeah, we have to give credit to Liv Johnson. No, come on. You got to hand it to Taylor Swift for bringing so many eyeballs into who a player is dating.
That's correct.
And now look at what's happening.
You cannot do a Chief game without Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, you have to see her. And if you don't see her, it's malpractice. Because more people are watching to see if Taylor's there. That's what people talk. Is Taylor going to be at the game? Is Taylor going to be here? But the same thing. Josh Allen's a perfect example. We talked about WAGs.
No, we can't get into it. We can't get into it because we got to go to break.
Well, you know what? Then why don't we talk about that a little later in the day? We'll talk about Josh Allen later in the day.
You don't have to cut us off just yet. If you want more of these crazy hot takes, we're also talking about the refs who were rigging those Chiefs games.
Wow,
if we really want to get into it.
There's actually now proof.
And the fashion show. Tune into the Fox Local app on Fox 5 and the Fox YouTube page at 1:30 for Kicking and Screaming podcast live. You don't want to miss it.
WAG.
All right, welcome back. Time for our notes at noon, and I got to ask Liv. Number one, first of all, missed you. Haven't seen you in a while.
Sorry, guys. I had to vacation.
She had to vacation.
It was an emergency.
Speaking while you're on vacation, do you sleep with the lights completely off, or like a little nightlight or something?
I basically cosplay being dead when I go to sleep. Like, no joke. I have earplugs. I have an eye mask. Blackout curtains.
Wow, okay, so you are not one of the surveyed 2,000 American adults in late September who agree that they need to sleep with a light on. That's what we're talking about.
Are you serious?
3 in 10 adults afraid to sleep in the dark. Clearly Liv, not one of them.
What do you sleep?
I need a little light.
Are you serious?
I need a little light. If it's too black, it's like then I'm seeing shapes and stuff. I need
that sounds like a personal problem.
Is this? Do I need medication for this?
No, I even cover up, like, even if a TV in a hotel has like a red light, I'm covering it up.
You know, there's something about some deep sleep, I guess, without any light. But a lot of Americans are saying that they are afraid to be in the dark. I don't know if it's necessarily
more men than women.
It is more men.
Exactly.
Men had a slightly higher fear than women at 33% compared to 26%. That is saying something about the men in this country.
Yeah. What is
Can't even come up to ask us to buy us a drink, has to go to sleep with the light on. Makes sense. Okay, so the survey found that 1 in 10 adults still sleep with this one. This is crazy. With stuffed animals or other comfort items to feel safe at night. I feel like you have.
No.
I've seen this in the background of your room. You have some stuffed animals in there.
I have stuffed animals that have been gifted to me, okay? And I keep them there to be nice.
So technically you sleep with stuffed animals?
No, I don't sleep. I push them off when I go to bed.
I mean, technically, if we're really getting technical. Okay, hold on. Let's get to the next one real fast. This one is crazy. We talked about this last year. There was an imprint left in the sidewalk in concrete in Chicago. Look at this. A lot of people said it was a rat. And you can see the hands, the tail, and now it's becoming a main attraction for people. But get this. This is where it gets crazy. Researchers from the University of Tennessee, not just one, New York Institute of Technology, and the University of Calgary. We had 3 universities get on the case here and study this. And they compared images from like different animals and just compared the image there. And they even published a paper saying this is actually not a rat that left the imprint here.
Okay, but what is it?
A squirrel or a muskrat.
Oh. Okay, but
it's in the same family. It's in the same family.
Did it just fall in while they were laying the concrete?
That's what they're saying, because there was no prints before or after. So they're saying that it could have fell from the tree and landed right into that wet concrete and left its mark. But it clearly might have survived because it got out of there, or somebody took it out of there.
Maybe it just wanted to leave its mark.
That's what I would do.
It's like us drawing our name on a tree or something.
That muskrat wants to be remembered.
That muskrat. Imagine using like your degree to study that.
This is the part that really bugs me, because you have 3 universities publishing a paper and telling us it's not a rat.
Yeah.
And I said, this is what we're going to school for?
Also, like, come on, just let us
live with the rat. I agree.
Let us have the rat imprint.
You know, this is what colleges are doing. So now the city is taking a lot of complaints. They're removing that complete slab of sidewalk, and they're doing a little plaque for the rat, for the muskrat, I guess, because too many people are throwing coins in there, and it's becoming an attraction. It's like throwing a coin into the well over there in Rome.
Yeah, life imitates art.
Live, let, love, laugh.
I'm a fan.
There you go. Me too.
I'll just put that on record.
Leave it there. She also sleeps with stuffed animals. Anyways, reminder that we're going to have more news coming up straight ahead. Stay with us.
Fox Local.
Korean culture taking center stage in Brooklyn. This is the Kum Festival's U.S. debut. Kum means dream in Korean. The three-day event unites Korean culture, tech, food, beauty, and fashion. Now, it also includes various artists as well as K-pop performers.
So we want to put the best version of Korean culture-based festival because K-beauty, K-food, and film and drama, K-technology, people like it. We want to present the best version of Korean culture through Kum Festival.
The festival also known for showcasing Korean beauty products, and it begins today at the Brooklyn Navy Yard and runs until Saturday. All right, let's get a final check of the forecast with Liv, who's standing by. Hey, Liv.
Hey, Bianca. Okay, so pretty chilly today. Temperatures are just going to tap out in the mid to upper 50s. 59 for New York City, 58 if you're up in the Hudson Valley. But if you're in Monticello, just a high of 53 today. We have 57 down the shore, 60 for Newark, 58 out on Long Island. Now, we do have to deal with strong wind gusts today. Right now, gusting at 30 miles per hour. But really, anywhere in the tri-state is at least 25 miles per hour. So it's making it feel a little bit cooler. Not too much cooler, but those winds are going to persist through the afternoon and evening. Even tomorrow, still going to be a breezy Friday, but it is going to be a little bit warmer and winds are going to be just a little bit lighter. Our lows tonight, 45 degrees in New York City, 44 out east, but a lot of us get into the 30s. Hartford, 38. We have 37 for the overnight low for Poughkeepsie, 34 for Sussex, 31 for Monticello. So really chilly if you're up in Monticello. Tomorrow, as I said, a little bit warmer. We'll get up into the 60s at least. That sunshine sticks around. Just have to deal with another day of breezy conditions. We have Monticello at 57 tomorrow and Belmar at 59 tomorrow. And then our Saturday, 65 degrees and sunny. Sunday, 70 degrees and mainly sunny. Then we have some showers roll in Sunday night into Monday morning. Bianca?
Ooh, chilly night tonight. That's why you guys sleep with the stuffed animals to keep you warm.
Yeah, and make sure all your lights are off.
Yeah. And if you don't get that joke, this is why you cannot miss Notes at Noon, which is right before this. All right, Liv, thanks so much. All right, last story before we go. There's a new fragrance for men that may whet your appetite. Progresso has come out with a barbecue-scented deodorant. It's part of a marketing ploy to promote its new Pitmaster soup line. It works because the deodorant actually sold out, but have no fear, Progresso is bringing it back in the form of the Pitmaster Pit Kit. It features one barbecue smoke-scented deodorant and a can of barbecue-style grilled chicken and fire-roasted corn. Oh, yeah, that looks and sounds very good. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. 25 Words or Less is next. If you do want more news, tune into the Fox Local app, streaming right now.
All right, everybody, you're taking a live look at multiple shots of New York City here as we welcome you to Newsroom Live on this Thursday, October 16th. That's a pretty one. We're going to get to weather in just a moment. I'm Antoine Lewis, very happy to be with you again today. A lot to get to, a lot that's going on, and we also invite you, any story that you hear on our platforms, please leave a comment so that we can, a question, so that we can engage with you in that capacity. But let's start talking some top stories, because one of the biggest stories happening in our city today, the Hudson River Tunnel project. I have to make sure I get that out. And what the status of that is. It's a $16 billion project that it's been in development for a while, but the president has some thoughts on possibly terminating it, but we're hearing mixed messages. But to clear all of this up, my colleague Linda Schmidt is standing by. She's been working on this. She's been covering this for a minute. Linda, exactly what is going on, and good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon to you there, Antoine. A beautiful day, by the way, here in New York. Okay, the president yesterday, you know how he gets asked numerous questions when he's having a press conference. He could be having a press conference on one topic, and then he takes questions from reporters on a whole variety of issues. Yesterday, suddenly, he says that the Hudson River Tunnel Gateway project is being terminated, that it's terminated. Now, we don't know at this point if it actually is terminated, and at this point, we don't even know if the president has the authority to terminate a project like this. Many people are speculating what is going on here is that he's putting pressure on New York Senator Charles Schumer, who is a huge proponent of this project and has been working on this project for about 20 years now to get this moving forward. The construction on it started about 2 years ago. And the reason that the president is putting pressure on Senator Schumer is because he blames Senator Schumer for the government shutdown. So there's politics here that is at play. But go ahead. I don't know if you're showing any of the video right now of the project, but here's the timeline of how things are playing out. First of all, the president and the Republicans are blaming Democrats for the shutdown. At the start of the shutdown, the Trump administration announced that it was free $3 billion, as well as freezing funding for the Second Avenue subway, two major commuting projects here in the state of New York. Now, the president has also said multiple times during the shutdown that his administration would be getting rid of some major projects that the Democrats like. And those are some of the words that he's actually used. So what exactly is the Gateway Tunnel project? Well, what it is, they are building a tunnel between New York and New Jersey that is going to replace the current tunnel. The current tunnel is about 115 years old, and it was badly damaged during Superstorm Sandy. And that tunnel transports hundreds of thousands of passengers every day on New Jersey Transit and Amtrak between Boston and Washington, D.C., obviously in and out of New York. So they're building a brand new tunnel, and then what they want to do is refurbish the existing one. Well, Governor Hochul and every Democratic leader that you can imagine slamming the president on this, saying that he is just using this as a political football, that he is just taking revenge on New York because it is predominantly a blue state, and that he's attacking all blue states because of the government shutdown, and that he would critically be damaging the economic engine of the Northeast between D.C. and Boston. The Democratic candidate for governor in New Jersey, Mikey Sherrill, also having a news conference this morning, blasting the president on this, and Republican candidate for governor in New Jersey, Jack Ciattarelli, who is a Trump supporter, also posting on social media today that if he is elected governor of New Jersey, he will fight the president on this, that he will stand up to the president on this issue, because he says the Gateway Tunnel project is vital to our region and our economy. So that's pretty much the status here, Antoine, of what's going on with this. But again, at this stage, we don't even know if the president has the authority, because the funds here are approved by Congress.
Right. And they were already approved. And Linda, your take on the fact that should Chitterelli be elected, him going up against, pushing back against someone who just endorsed him a number of weeks ago, being the president?
Yeah, well, it's not really my take. It's what happened. Jack Chitterelli posted it on social media today saying that he would definitely fight the president on this, that this is something that is critical to our region. It's critical to our economy, to the Northeast corridor, and he would stand up to the president on this issue if, in fact, the president is able to terminate the project. And we don't even know if that's possible at this point. The president will have, and as you know, anybody who's been covering the president during his first term or his second term, he will have some type of an event going on in the Oval Office, and then he'll open it up to questions, and then suddenly he'll just start talking and he'll bring up a topic. And this is what happened yesterday when he said, oh, by the way, the Hudson River Gateway Tunnel project, that's terminated. And he mentioned Senator Schumer when he was talking about it.
By name,
saying, oh,
yep.
You should tell Senator Schumer it's terminated. He named him.
Yep, he did, Linda. All right, a lot going on there. We know you're busy. We know you're also going to be working on this for the evening. So we look forward to hearing more about this afternoon. Thank you for that report, Linda Schmidt.
No problem. My pleasure, Antoine.
All right, everybody. Now, as we talked a little bit about politics in that segment there, we want to bring in our Lisa Evers because happening tonight, the mayoral debate is going on for all of the candidates, all three that are going to be running for the position of New York City mayor. Now, we're, of course, talking about Democratic candidate Zohran Mamdani, the Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa, and Andrew Cuomo, former governor, is running as an independent. A lot of eyes are on this because of the attention that it's drawing, because of the accusations that are being leveled, and then just the players, the characters in all of this. I mean, Curtis Sliwa ran against Mayor Adams as the Republican candidate. Zohran Mamdani is being positioned by some who are not endorsing him as a socialist. And then you have the Cuomo factor, the former governor who left office and now is trying to seek, another public position. But Lisa Evers is coming in now. She's going to give us just a little bit of a preview because you've been working on this today. Lisa, I guess the first question is, as you get into your report, is who has the most to lose, I guess, tonight? Is the way
well, we spoke with a political science professor from Rider University, Micah Rasmussen, earlier today, and he said, obviously, if you go by the numbers, Zohran Mamdani has been in the lead, has had the #1 ranking position since the very beginning of this whole thing. So obviously he has the most to lose, but he said also Cuomo does as well, because this is one chance, even though he got a bump in his poll numbers when Eric Adams dropped out of the race, that he really has to have a stellar performance tonight if he's hoping to really close that gap and even have a real chance. And then he said the other issue, there's the only hope for Curtis Sliwa, the Republican candidate, is if the first two, and Sliwa is #3, and they haven't changed, like the 1, 2, and 3 rankings haven't changed at all, which has been pretty incredible considering everything that's happened. But he said for Sliwa to get any kind of momentum from this or boost from this, the #1 and #2, those two would have to go at each other. And then he made another interesting point, Antoine, that the fact that there's 3, we think of presidential races, it's the Republican candidate, the Democratic candidate. It's a 1-on-1.
Right.
This is basically, is this going to end up being a 2-on-1 on Mamdani? Is this going to be, you have a lot more as a candidate to think about and to worry about and be concerned about, because you don't know what are they going to try to do. It's Mamdani has 2 people that would love to knock him out, and they're both much more seasoned speakers. I mean, Sliwa already went through a mayoral race. Cuomo's been talking and politicking his whole life,
exactly,
and learned from his dad, the late Governor Mario Cuomo. He was basically steeped in politics, has done tons of public speaking. We all remember his daily briefings during COVID,
right.
Where he was letting us know what was happening. A lot of people found those reassuring, even though, there are other things they may like or not like about him. So that's going to be kind of a question mark and maybe a wild card. So it depends is Cuomo going to attack Mamdani so hard that Sliwa can just come in and say, here's what I want to do, and here's what I propose doing. So we'll see what happens.
Is the possibility of, the 2 against 1 can backfire also?
Yes. Yes.
You know, Lisa, you looked into that as well.
No, it can definitely backfire, and it can also leave. You know, it's like, you know, that saying, two's a couple, three's a crowd, and that's very true with this, because it could leave one of them out, you know, outside of the main discussion, and then having to fight their way in. I think it'll be really interesting, though, Antoine. You know, we're taking a look, and we'll have it for 5:30 on Fox 5 News and Fox Local, is taking a look at the candidates in their own words, issue by issue.
Right.
Because there's been, today we're talking about education on the news. I'm working on that when I finish speaking with you. But the point is, it's like we've seen them, they're attacking each other. And the sense that I'm getting from when we're talking with people and voters and the public is, people are kind of tired of that. Anybody can call somebody a name and really trash them and, you know, be rude that way. But it's like, what are you really going to do? And then it just becomes one of those attacks cancels the other attack out. So it'll be really interesting to see. And then the other thing, too, is going to be the format. It's all happening at the NBC studios, News 4 New York at 30 Rockefeller Center, but it's also co-sponsored by Telemundo, so we can expect some issues that are very prominent importance to the Latino community there as well, and then which they cover very extensively. And then the other third party that's involved with it is Politico. So how they're going to do it with the moderators, we don't quite know yet. Are there going to be 3 different people asking 3 different candidates? Are they going to stick to a time clock? You know, all of these things, we're waiting for more details to emerge this afternoon.
Lisa, before you go, you mentioned this, and I was going to ask you, yesterday you were previewing, because you talked and got their stances on crime and safety. You pretty much cover crime and safety for us here. Can you just give us a little bit of where each of them stand before you go? Because I know you worked on that yesterday as you're working on education today.
Well, Zoran Mamdani's been trying to do big cleanup with his comments that were made in 2020, to be fair. It was after the George Floyd murder, and he was basically saying things that were anti-police and considered anti-police in the context.
Defund the police?
Yes,
right.
Defund the police among them. And so he walked that back reportedly on Fox News in his first interview with Fox News there. And since then has been said, he was questioned on Good Day New York recently, and he told Rosanna and Kurt, he said, listen, I am trying to apologize individually to officers as I meet them and see them, but not formally. And that didn't really sit, you know, a lot of police officers were like, oh, come on, you know, that's like saying, oh yeah, you know, this is my friend, but I don't ever want to hang out with them or, you know, have dinner with them in a public place, that kind of thing.
Right.
So, you know, that just smacked of too much politicking to a lot of people. But he's been saying he doesn't want to defund the police, but he wants this mental health unit, you know, to deal with the crime. But the issue with that, as law enforcement points out to me when I'm talking with police especially, is that a lot of these mental health episodes, by the time the family member is calling 911, there's already a weapon involved, there is already been abuse that's been involved, or there is an imminent threat. So it's past the point where you can, you know, you can have a social worker in there safely to try to talk them down, or a mental health professional. So I think there's, you know, everybody agrees this mental health crisis and crime of the, you know, criminally mentally ill, which is a very small percentage of mentally ill people, that there needs to be a better approach to it. SLEWA has an approach to have that, these roving teams that were once operating in the subways, where you have a police officer, 2 police officers paired with like a nurse, or, you know,
a mental wellness expert, right?
Somebody who can deal with physical issues, but also a mental health expert there, like that. And both Cuomo and SLEWA want to hire many, you know, thousands more police officers, and both of them are saying that they want them to go, you know, to be out there on the streets. I have to tell you though, Antoine, because you know I'm out there every single day.
5 days a week.
7 days a week.
7 days a week.
One way or another.
I took 2 of her days from her.
Living. But I have never seen under Mayor Adams, you know, and even his critics before he dropped out of the race, even his critics, people that hated everything else about him and the corruption allegations and all of that, they said, listen, he came in saying, I want to bring safety with justice, meaning he wants to bring safety without abusing people's rights, which he did in a lot of ways with the gang shootings, with the gun violence, with the murders, that type of thing. And one of the things that he wanted to do was, you know, attack this problem on the subways with mental health as well. So we'll see what happens. But you know, and under Mayor Adams too, I have to say it's the police officers, even though there's been, you know, kind of a revolving door with the commissioners, they have been out. They are out there, Antoine. They are interacting with the community.
Yes, they are.
In every single neighborhood, and it's not just.
Lisa, I live in Harlem. You know that.
Yes.
And I know you're uptown a little bit further than me. I have to tell you, when I'm walking from the subway from 125th,
Yeah.
I see at least 2 on patrol, whether it's on one side of the street or the other, and even going into the subway. You see
Right.
them on the platform more often than we did. You're absolutely right.
And they deploy them like they'll do these surges, but again, they're still dealing with this diminished police force, this police force that's losing members every month. So both Cuomo and Sligo have been talking about that, replenishing the police department, getting it back up to its prime number, which would take at least 5,000 more police officers. The question of how are you going to pay for that, that's always a big issue. But I mean, to the men and women who wear the badge and that are out there, they have been out there. They're interacting at the community. They're responding to 911 calls. They're stopping people if they see like fights starting on the corner. These are all things I've witnessed. It's not,
No, right.
And in every precinct, from Southeast Queens to Midtown Manhattan to here, where our studios are in Manhattan. Yep. And everywhere, in the Bronx and Brooklyn too. So, but tonight's going to be very interesting because I think everybody's saying, okay, starting to get a little boring here. Everyone's kind of stuck in these ranking positions. Let's see what's going to happen. And as the pundits say, it's New York. Anything could happen.
Absolutely. Lisa Evers, you always get the pulse of the street. Thank you so much for stopping by and sharing with us. Good luck with that education report.
All right.
I think I'm right behind you in the 5 o'clock newscast today.
Great. All right. Thank you so much, Andrew.
All right, everybody. We also want to let you know, for all things politics, for all things on the New York City mayor's race and anything else, the governor's race in New Jersey, we want to tell you about a couple of programs that we have that we want to make sure that you have on your radar. That's right. Politics Unusual, happening Fridays at 6:30. That's hosted by R. Morgan Mackay. And then we also want to remind you about Battleground NYC. That's SE Cups show that happens at 7 o'clock, and then weeknights following the 10 o'clock news right here on Fox 5, as well as the Fox local streaming app of the platform to which you are watching us. All right, everybody, 1:18 on your Thursday. We're going to take a quick break, and then Liv Johnson will be talking about the chill in the weather. We'll be right back. To work this morning, Liv Johnson. Yeah,
it looks nice.
Does
but
look
then
nice.
You step out there and wow, smacked by that wind.
So, how are we looking for the rest of the day, if not the next couple of days?
You know what? It's going to be warmer the next couple of days, but not warm. Here's our satellite radar. Okay, you can see clear sky, so at least we have plenty of sunshine for the next few days. Today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all going to be relatively nice. But we do have wind gusts like 30 miles per hour right now. That's going to last through today. Tomorrow, also breezy, but not as windy. So still going to be windy, but just not as cold or as strong as today.
So the temps are going to warm up some?
A little bit. Tomorrow we have 63. Today we're only expecting about 57 to 59.
Okay.
And then tomorrow a high of 63. Sunday, I think we might hit 70. Just exactly at 70.
70 degrees.
70 degrees.
On a nice October day.
On a nice
That's
October
pretty cool,
day. I
Liv
know.
Johnson.
But Octobers are
Look,
getting
here
warmer.
you go. See, look.
Yeah.
We asked, you deliver. Look at that. 73?
Ooh, 73, that's a bit of a stretch. No,
Okay.
it's 70. This is a different system than I use for our newscast. But tomorrow, yes, about 63 to 65.
Okay.
Saturday in the mid 60s. Sunday, probably just a high of 70. And then we get rain Sunday night into Monday morning.
All right. So now as we look at this and we talk about the rain that's coming, are we meeting our levels, do you know, as far as rain totals, or we're still about the same? We're just
I think we're still a little bit behind.
behind?
But
Okay.
not like we were, was it last October that we didn't see rain for like an entire month.
It was a while.
Yeah, it was really bad. Yeah.
It
It's
was a
not
while.
we're not in those conditions at all. And then of course we got rain from that nor'easter. But yeah, so it's just going to be cool and windy today. And then like in the morning when you wake up, especially if you're up in Monticello or Poughkeepsie, temperatures will be in the 30s tomorrow morning. So we're getting to that time of fall season where it feels like winter in the morning, then it warms up by the afternoon and cold again at night.
Yeah, because the temps drop so significantly, you know,
Yeah.
as you were talking about
Right.
the 60s and then
Yeah.
in some cases like 40s maybe?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah. I mean, we'll wake up in the 40s tomorrow.
Here in the city?
Yeah, upper 40s.
Okay, that's a lot.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Just drop that out of nowhere. Oh, we're going to get 40 tomorrow.
I mean, I talked about it in the noon, but
You did. But look, all right. One other thing I want to make sure everyone is aware of. You did a really neat story yesterday about bees, you know, and advances and just unique ways of talking about bees. Why don't you
oh my
explain
gosh.
this a bit?
Ooh, and by the way, I did, that gray stuff is actually their fresh honey, and I dipped my finger and got some fresh honey.
How does it taste?
Really good.
Oh, is it sweet?
Really,
or do
yes.
they add it? It is?
Yeah,
Or-
it's
okay.
I mean, it's all natural.
Okay.
And those are all women, by the way. Those are all women. They're the ones that work and maintain the home.
So the story was it's an electric or powered beehive or
Yes, it's controlled. I mean, beekeepers watch over them, but you can control the climate and humidity inside. So they're like coolers, right? Obviously, we know what beehives look like in the wild,
Right.
And that looks nothing like that. So that means that these bees can also stay alive during the winter months. That's their hope,
Oh wow.
because it will be climate controlled.
And that way they can continue to produce the honey.
Yes.
Okay.
And reproduce. Really, it's also just about helping the bee population and in urban areas. So yeah, it's on top of Pier 57. It's going to be there for the foreseeable future.
Okay.
And then hopefully expand.
So look, we saw the one lady, she didn't have gloves on, Liv. Is that safe? I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
I didn't have gloves on either.
You
They're
handled the
really
thing?
nice. I actually learned that obviously, one, bees don't really want to sting you because as soon as they sting you, they die.
Okay.
So they have to be really sure that they want to sting you. And and they will start like hitting your hand first. You know when a bee will like fly into you? That's them letting you know that they're
Move.
annoyed. Then they also emit a scent that smells like bananas.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I guess if we should ever find on our store shelves honey flavored banana flavored honey or something like that, it might be quite interesting. Any other thing that you were surprised to learn when you were shooting this story yesterday? You know, were you surprised by the taste of the honey? Or,
I was surprised by the taste of the honey and how good it was. And then I guess I didn't know that most bees live for, I think, an average of 30 days, but the queen bee lives for years.
I did hear that.
And then there's only a couple males, and as soon as they
kill the male, right?
Well,
Or
sometimes,
get rid of him. They get
yeah.
rid, yeah.
Well, as soon as they
He's disposable.
reproduce, dead.
Then he's gone.
Yeah.
All right. Before we say goodbye, I just have to address something here because of our height. Liv is super tall. Michael, hand me that thing right there, just to show you.
No,
When
Antoine's
we
on a
knew that-
step stool.
When I knew that Liv was coming over, I literally was about to just see if I could step up a little bit more, but then I would have been out of the camera
Right.
shot. So, but anyway, we had the stool
You already
handy
tested it out.
just in
I know.
case.
I always mess up this dynamic with the one camera.
We are fine. It's your
You know,
information that we're
guys-
more concerned
Oh,
about.
thank
All
you,
right.
Antoine.
All right, good job on the bees.
Thank you.
A quick break, everybody, then we'll be right back with more news, more stories. Wow, look how pretty the Hudson was. Oh, the shot just changed. But no, we are experiencing a very pleasant October day on your Thursday, October 16th. Again, Antoine Lewis, happy to be with you from Newsroom Live. And thank you for joining us. If there's a question or a comment in the time that we have left, I encourage you to do that. Leave it in the comment section, question section. We had one that was addressing the campaign issues there. So we want to make sure we get an answer for you there. All right, one thing to leave you with before we go. There's a new fragrance for men that's out. Take a look at this, and it's getting some talk. Apparently, Progresso has released a deodorant that's in the flavor, in the aroma of barbecue, and it's all tied to apparently a new soup line, a Pitmaster soup line. That's what you're seeing right there. But so far, Progresso was worried how it would be responded, and apparently it's selling off the shelves. I don't know about you, but yeah, I could not see myself walking around smelling like barbecue, you know, for any great amount of time. It's one thing if you use a smoker, you know, and the smoke blows back to you when you're grilling like that. But yeah, to spray it and then go, nah, not me. Anyway, let me know what you think. All right, that's going to do it for us. Next news is at 4. Stand by, because Kicking and Screaming with Bianca and